Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We saw last time the 13th verse, just briefly. We saw the translation, so we will look at that in detail. Let us chant the 13th verse first. Sarva karmani manasa, sarva karmani manasa, sanyasyaste sukham vashi, sanyasyaste sukham vashi. Navadvare pure dehi, Navadvare pure dehi, Naiva kurvanna karayan, Naiva kurvanna karayan. So our topic has gotten over, and what was the topic? From the 7th to the 12th verse. And that topic was about the glory of Karma Yoga and how the practice of Karma Yoga has to invariably, by default, lead you to Jnanam, provided we choose it. If you don't choose it, it cannot lead you. If you choose it, it has to lead you. And Jnanam is not an option. What is an option? The lifestyle of a grihastha performing or practicing Karma Yoga, or a sannyasi who may or may not be Agnyani, because there are many kinds of sannyasa as we have seen earlier, and so the lifestyle is an option, and Arjuna is being asked to stay in the grihastha lifestyle. Why? Because sannyasa is a one-way street. As long as you're a grihastha, you can take sannyasa anytime. But if you become a sannyasi, you can't say, "Uh-oh, I want to get married. Oh, I forgot to have children." You can't do that. Because, as the Srimad Bhagavatam says, it comes with dire consequences. It is a papa. Yes, so I'm not going to repeat that metaphor which the Srimad Bhagavatam gives. And so, therefore, this is this is what the topic was from verses 7 to 12. How a yogi equipped with Karma Yoga, how easy it is for her or for him to lead the life without any problems. Now, from the 13th to the 21st verse, every verse must be underlined, highlighted, marked, and put an asterisk, a star on it, because I can't even tell you which one is important, because all of them are important. This is the most important part of the chapter. Not just this chapter, but the entire essence of the Bhagavad Gita is going to be given, and it's going to be given in a very, very beautiful way. We are confused in the beginning whether the verses are describing A, the Jnani, B, Atma, or C, Ishvara. Well, since they happen to be all one and the same, we are safe. So the verses describe the nature of the Atma, and in so doing, they describe the nature of the Jnani. And these verses mimic or reiterate or restate, reinforce the message of the verses 12 to 25 in chapter 2. And for anybody who dares to say, I have already studied it in chapter 2, just now chant all those verses without looking in the book. Can you do that? No. Okay, let's keep quiet and listen to these verses, and then we will see what are the areas of convergence and what are the areas of how the two are very similar. That portion is very, very similar. So this verse we saw the meaning, but just to reiterate, manasa sanyasya. Manasa sanyasya. What is the verb here? Aste, remains. Sits, remains. Remains. How do they remain? Sukham. Sukham aste. Happily remains. Who? The person is described by two words. Vashi. Dehi. Vashin. Dehin, the one who is in the deha, not the body, but the indweller of the body. Vashi, Vashi means the master of the self. Vashi. So, the one who has done Vashikaranam, who has taken back the sense organs, the mind, etc., they are his or her servants. They are not being driven by him or her. You know, they are not driving that person, they are being driven by that person. So this is what is the understanding. So Sukham Vashi Dehi Aste. And who is this Dehi? Oh, Dehi means the one who is in the Deha. The Deha is described beautifully as a small kingdom with 9 gates. So Dehi is staying. The indweller has to, indweller means the first question that arises is, where is the person dwelling? Otherwise you don't say indweller. The indweller of what? In what? And that is in the 7th case, in a city, in a little kingdom, Pure. Puraha, 7th case, Pure, like Rame. And what is that kingdom? Navadware. It has 9 gates. All right. And so then, if we count it like the Upanishads, 7 of these gates are in our faces, and 2 are excretory, eliminatory functions. Those are also counted. And so total how many? 9. 9 gates. So in the 9-gated city, and so things come in, things go out. Sometimes they go out, like the mouth, both takes in and then goes out also. Speech, karmendriya, and taste, jnanendriya. So like the mouth is both two-way street, the sum of the others are just one-way street. And then the person is the person saying, I want to get out of this city. Oh my God, I'm limited, I'm finite, I'm an idiot. No. Sukham aste, remains happily until the city is not raided by Lord Yama and taken away. The person remains happily. Even if it is after it is raided by Lord Yama, the person remains what? Happily only. And then how does the person remain? The person must be doing something. No. Na eva kurvan, not doing anything. Na karayan, not causing anyone else to do. There are 2 kinds of do worship. One is direct do worship. You just go, one is angry, and the person just goes and offs another person. Finished. Done. And the other kind of acting is like a mafia boss. Mafia boss. Mafia boss will not get his hand dirty. In fact, in America, there was one mafia boss in the 70s who never got caught. Why? Because he was not karta. What was he? Karayitra, karayita. Either you do directly or indirectly you make somebody do. So somebody comes, they cannot pay, they have taken a big loan from the boss, because who else will they go to? So one of the workers, and he said he will pay back the loan, but oh sir, some family problems came, couldn't pay, couldn't do this. And then he also, the mafia boss also, because he has a network of spies, and anybody who is a mafia boss has to have a network of spies, because nefarious activities are going on. And one should not be jumped. One should be always in the position to jump on somebody, so they have to be well informed. And the network of spies informs him, He has the money, he's not giving. Plus, he is also in conversation to leave the gang. He wants to go and set up a different life. And that the mafia boss can never allow. Why? The fellow knows too much. So he comes, boss, please excuse me, I can't pay back the money next month, boss. I'll be in a much better position. Of course, because he's planning on leaving to be in a much better position. And there will always be one henchman for the boss who will be always standing next to the person. And so the mafia boss does not even waste words. That's all. Thikane laga do. Simple. Show him his place. What is his place? Swarga. That's his place. Why not Naraka? Because he's had a change of heart. So let's be generous. He's lamented and he's done prayaschitta. He wants to leave. He can't. He's just caught up in a terrible place. And so his place may be Swarga. But no, just take him there. Right now, take him there. That is called Karayita. And the Papa will go to him even though he did not wield the gun or the what is that called? Chaku, knife. The Papa will go to him, definitely. So there are two ways of doing. And this Vashi, the person who is indwelling the body, is just watching everything happily. Watching means we have to conclude he or she is watching. But because not doing anything, simply watching. And so the person is happily watching. This happily watching is very, very fraught with some, lot of these things, doubts. How can you be like that? Because if you are indwelling the body is a khatara. Khatara in English means jalopi, a car that is bekar. That is called khatara, jalopi. Jalopi means it will go if 4 people push it, and then it gets powered up for 2 minutes, and then it goes, and then again the 4 people who are sitting inside are mostly outside pushing it. This is the kind of body. So naturally, living in this kind of a body, let us say hypothetically, if that is the kind of body, then the person will be very agitated. What will happen to me? If you're living in a nice body, if you're living in a BMW, fine, no problem. But this is a model that is 25 years old and has 10 lakh miles on it. And so, where will it go? Where will it go? It has to be constantly be pushed all the time. Pushed and prodded, and it is more in than out. In what? Hospital. Then out. So once a week, the person comes back from hospital, looks at all the things in the house. Next day again, starts to cough, starts to, everything starts to have some kind of attack, stops breathing, starts to have asthma, and has to be taken in an ambulance. This kind of a person, sukham aste, how can you say remains happily if they are vashi? So the word dehi is not just important. Everybody is a dehi. But what is the clincher here? That which makes this verse come alive is the word vashi. Vashi. Very beautiful word. The master of oneself. Vashi is swamin. Swasmin eva tishtati. So, the one who remains with oneself, minding one's own business. That is what Swami, Swamin. And then the nominative first case is Swami. And so Swami means the one who is, that's why in English also there is a synergy. It's all about me. Swa in Sanskrit means me. So Swami is a Sanskrit word with its English translation right next to it. Swa plus me. That's what a Swami is. The master of the body. Master of the body means let the body be like an old car, which is totally bekar. Bekar means useless. I am not this body. Let the mind have dementia. I am still Agnyani. Doesn't matter. Let the mind be full of holes. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. That is okay. And then let the senses be all weak. Can't see, can't hear, can't eat. Like the cows in the Kathopanishad. 3 cows are there and they are described in 3 ways in the beginning of the story. So one kind of cows, one kind of a cow is called Dugdhadohaha. These cows have given the last drop of milk allotted by their prarabdha, allotted by Bhagavan. They have nothing to offer. Old cows, beyond the stage of reproduction. Then Jagdhatrinaha means they have eaten the last blade of grass allotted to them by Bhagavan. And the last one, Nirindriyaha. Nirindriyaha means none of the indriyas are functioning. They have seen whatever there is to see. They have heard whatever they have had to hear. They have picked up the smells, whatever smells they have had to smell. They have tasted everything. Everything is done. Just waiting for Lord Yama to come. So even if the bodies are like that, still the person is unaffected, happily remaining in this body. Why? Because the I has migrated to a different vantage point through the force of knowledge. That's why number 13 you see a drastic change. Number 12 still there is a sadhana. From 7 to 12 we are talking of sadhana. This is sadhya. This is the Atma itself. Atma is Vashi and I am the Atma. Therefore, I am Vashi. Atma is Dehi. While being in the body is not affected by the body, I am also Vashi. And so, and in this 9-gated body, full of things coming in, full of distractions, full of all kinds of problems, Sukham aste. Why? How? Sarva karmani, all the karmas, sanyasya, having given up the karmas. Oh, by taking to a life of sannyasa? Not necessarily. Manasa, cognitively. This is a cognitive pursuit. The Gita want to just keep nailing that every single time, because the questions don't stop. What are the questions? Why can't I get moksha through ... Fill in the blanks. Why can't I get moksha through doing namaskara? Why can't I get moksha through doing pradakshina? Why can't I get moksha through worship? Why can't I get moksha through singing bhajan, nama sankirtanam? Why can't I get moksha by digging a hole for myself? What else? And these verses will put a stop to all that. Hopefully. I pray for that to happen. Because they are really, that's why I said mark each and every one of them. Manasa sanyasya, cognitively sanyasya. But how to just suddenly say, I am not the karta? Like I said, this can be the defense of a bank robber. The group of bank robbers are caught. As they were going in the getaway car. The getaway car would not start. Why? It was a khatara. So it would not start. So 3 fellows had to get down and push it. And that's when the police caught up and caught them. They are taken to the court. What do they say? We hear in the 13th verse of the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita that I am akarta. Naiva kurvan na karayan, your honor, sukham. I am very happy. Why? Because sukham vashi. I am a happy vashi. I'm very happy. I remain happily in this 9-gated body. And then what will the police and the court, the justice will tell? You are headed to the 10th gate now, which has bars on that gate. Now then you can say, I am in a 10-gated city. Now one more gate is coming. What's the difference between the other 9 gates and this gate? This gate has bars on it, from which you literally, even Lord Yama cannot take you out of this gate. This gate, you are here. And so we'll take you to a nice gated community, and then there you will be happily. So come Vashi, you can remain. So come Aste, you can say. Why won't this defense hold up? Because just thinking myself to Akarta, you cannot do this. It's like the devil quoting the scriptures. I mean, what is the use? No use at all. So Manasa Sanyasya means that the person, Manasa here, cognitive. Cognitively, there is a shift. Knowledge has taken place. And for the one for whom there is Atma Jnanam, there is zero. What? There is zero desire to transgress dharma. No desire to transgress dharma. Why should it be there? Not at all. The vantage point is different. And how is the vantage point different? Like supposing you're looking at a big tree, redwood tree. You want to see what a redwood tree looks like? See, that's the thing. That's the advantage of online. Everybody was saying, "Oh, online, very boring, etc., etc." It's not boring. So many things you can do. See, all the people sitting here, they are not even going to be seeing this. Yeah, only you are going to be seeing this, which is very nice. So, so all I have to do is click the share button, and then I can show you how big this tree is. Wow, can you see that now? Can you see this tree, this redwood tree? Can you see how big it is? Do you see the person taking a walk under it? Yes, I know that person. She is a tall person. And you see how big the tree is. And that's only, and how much was able to be captured in this photograph is only 1/8 of the tree. Okay, yeah. And then if you are wondering how big the tree is, let me share one more photo so you see how big this tree is. Can you see this one now? Yeah. If you look at the tree, it's like 300, 400 feet. If you look at the tree, after that you have to go to a chiropractor for neck adjustment. You have to go to a doctor for a nice massage and a few vertebrae to do click, click, click. That big the tree is. So if I look at the tree from the ground onwards, like a huge tree, then it seems, oh my God, it's big. Can't even think of climbing it. And these blessed trees are 1,000 years old, 1,500 years old, 3,000 years old. Imagine, we don't even know what it is. What must it be like to be that tree? Majestic, glorious, blessing the entire forest and the whole ecosystem. Wow. So if I look at it from down below, then what? Oh, so big, mind-boggling. But let's say I'm in an airplane. Then I'm looking in the window. Then I'm looking down at it. Then how big the tree seems? This much. This much tree. Chota chota trees. Oh, how cute the trees are. These trees are not cute by any stretch of the imagination. They are not cute at all. They are huge, majestic, colossal. All these adjectives you can use. Cute is the last thing you will say, except when you are in a plane. When you are in a plane, oh, how cute. It looks like a little land of, like like the children play with the playthings. The little blocks, and there is a little tree you can make, and few trees you can show like this. It is called Lego set. Yeah, Lego set. And so if you're looking at it from a height, then it looks very different. It looks very small. Similarly, the Agnyani looks at the problems of the life from the standpoint of, from the goggles of the Ahankara. ahankara, I notion. The I notion identified with the body. It's not remaining in the body without any identification. Identified with the body, identified with the mind, with the senses, with the fears, with the tears, with all this. And so all the problems are like these big redwood trees, huge, without any limits. Everything is huge. I'm coming under their spell. Oh my God, how am I going to solve this problem? Oh my God, I'm stressed. Oh my God, I'm tense. Oh my God, what's going to happen after the 6 months course? Only 3 months have elapsed. Relax. Even 3 months have not elapsed. Relax. Oh my God, what am I going to do? What if I can't adjust at home? What if I can't adjust here? What will happen? Don't worry. First step, Bhagavan will take care. And second step, let me speed up my assimilation of the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishad classes so that I don't have this worry. So earlier from verses 7 to 12, it was told, I have given the worries to Bhagavan. Now it is told that I myself am not worried. Why? Because of the exposure to the knowledge, my vantage point has changed. I am no longer paining my neck looking at this tree and wondering how big it is. I am in the plane. I am riding. I'm literally on a different plane. And when I'm on a different plane, all the problems are small. The difficulties are small. The body is tiny. The same body, which is just like, becomes a huge problem. The mind, which is the storehouse, the warehouse of problems, is small. In fact, the Jnanis also calls the mind warehouse. Where it is, we don't know. That is, in that sense, it's a warehouse. Doesn't bother the Jnani, the person of knowledge. So the person of knowledge has walked over this troublesome ahankara, sticky like Velcro, needy, sticky little thing. From hugging the body, mind, sense complex, has walked it over to Atma. That is the thing. But how to walk? We have been studying how to walk. First step, give it to Bhagavan. Second step, verse 34 of the 4th chapter. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Seek a teacher. Catch hold of the teacher and say, make them sit down and say, I need this teaching. Don't wait to be chosen by a teacher. Don't say, if this knowledge were to come to me, then teacher also should come. That will not work. That may work for a college dance. I want to be chosen. There is something called prom, Yeah, you promenade, I suppose. So college prom, yes, I want to be chosen by somebody to go to this function, to this dance, annual day or something like that. Then it will work, but not here. In any tradition you see, who goes to who? Shishya goes to Guru or Guru goes to Shishya. If Guru comes to you and says, please study with me, do the namaskara and back off slowly. Let them keep the knowledge to themselves. This knowledge is not to be advertised. This knowledge is not to be, given. You don't run after the student and give this knowledge. And then don't tell us, oh, you advertised this 6-month course. Yes, we advertised, but we advertised because there was already a demand for it. People were already standing in line. That's why. And so therefore what? So therefore, this is something which is very important. Walking the I notion, walking the I to occupy a vantage point as a result of the knowledge, so that one is not besieged, all the time beleaguered by whatever is happening to the body, whatever is happening to the mind. One develops strength. Manasa sanyasya, there is nothing to do. I am not the doer. Then if I am not the doer, who is the doer? For that I'm afraid we'll have to go to the next verse. If I am not the doer, who is the doer? The next verse will answer, and then let us look at the next verse. Next verse. Where is it? I had an online verse number 5. Here. न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः. See, सृजति प्रभुः, there is a conjunct consonant. E is a short vowel followed by a conjunct consonant. So according to chanting rules, what happens? Dvitvam comes, a doubling. लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. Prabhu, that's the subject of this sentence. And everybody knows what is Prabhu. Ishvara. Ishvara is Prabhu. OMG. Prabhu is being talked about, but I thought we were talking about Jnani. Yes. I thought we were talking about Atma. Yes. All three are called Prabhu. Why Prabhu? Prakarshena bhavati iti Prabhu. Prakarshena bhavati means uncreated is this Atma, who happens to be in the form of a Jnani, who happens to be in the form of Ishvara. So the Atma here does not create. For whom? Lokasya, for the world, do worship. Kartritvam does not create. I am, the Atma is naturally free of Kartritvam. And then Bhoktritvam, Atma does not create. Because if Kartritvam is talked about, Bhoktritvam comes along. Although the next verse is going to talk about Bhoktritvam a little more. But still, no harm in bringing Bhokta here. So if Kartritvam is not created, Bhoktritvam is also not created at all. Okay? And then does not create karmas for the people. Do this, do that. Nothing. And if there are karmas, what are there? If there is karma, what is there? The result of karma. Yes. If there is karma, there is result of karma. Result of karma also the Lord Atma has not created. Na karma phala samyogam. Samyogam means union. Union with what? Karma phala. The enjoying the fruits of action is not part of the Atma. Atma is not a doer, has not done this. Ishvara also has not done this. This is not the arrangement. Kartritvam, do worship. Because easily we can blame Ishvara. This is all the setup. Ishvara has made me a karta. If Ishvara has made you a karta, then nobody can make you a karta. Because it's Ishvara's srishti. It will not go away. So therefore, if you can become a karta by knowledge, that means what? Ishvara has not made you a karta. Then who should I blame? Who has made me a karta? Ishvara has not made you karta, and Atma has not made you karta, and neither has Atma associated you with the fruits of action. But Kartritvam pravartate, Kartritvam flows, Bhoktritvam flows, and the karma phala sakti flows. I want to be united with this karma phala flows. How does it flow? How does it come? Swabhava tu indeed swabhava. Swabhava here is what? Maya, avidya. Avidya is the universal swabhava. Everybody's swabhava. Remember, in one talk I had distinguished the difference between swabhava and Swarupa. Swarupasya nanivrittihi. Swarupa is constant, unchangeable, and that is what is called Prabhu. Swabhava comes, Swabhava goes. Swabhava is a habit, and Agnyanam is a habit. Pun intended, I'm wearing it. It's a habit. It's a habit. And then So this Ajnanam, Maya as it pertains to the Jiva is Ajnanam. And Maya as she pertains to Ishvara is Shakti, all knowledge. Not fair. But that's how it is. Not fair. So the Ajnanam is the problem. And so Ajnanam here is Prakriti, Swabhava. And this Prakriti makes one, because of this Ajnanam, one attaches to the body first. One attaches to the mind. One attaches to the sense organs. And then one, of course, attaches to whatever the body is doing, whatever the mind is doing, the I-ness claims as its own. This, my dear beings, is the problem. Not that we can blame Ishvara. We can't blame Ishvara. And also we can't have, we can't have that, what is that? We can't say, what is that? We can't say like the robber did. What did the bank robber say? I am not the karta, my ajnanam is karta. I am not the karta. If you can say the same thing, okay, if you hit somebody on the head and robbed the bank, and then you say, I'm not the karta, then if somebody hits you on the head and robs that money, then also if you say, I'm not the bhokta, then I can accept your defense. But if one-sided, it doesn't work. One-sided, this is not a real defense. It's not consistent. Vedanta is nothing but consistence. So the same rules should apply. In fact, we say the same rules apply here and elsewhere in other lokas also. So here, yad yatha iha karmachito loka kshiyate tat tatha amutra punyachito loka kshiyate. So just like here, when you earn karma and then what happens? You spend it. You earn something with karma, you spend it. And same thing, how do you go to heaven? Punya. With the chitta, collected punya. And when the punya exhausts, when you spend the punya, and each time you go sit in an Urvashi dance concert, and each time you take a selfie with Indra, punyas are being deducted. And when all the punyas finish, what happens? We'll see that in the in the 9th chapter. Kshine loke, kshine punye, martyalokam dhadam iti vishanti. Dhadam added for emphasis. Yeah. So when the punya is exhausted, the person comes back with a vengeance, making a huge sound. See, online classes are so much fun. Who said they are not fun? Who said we will not be able to connect? Eat your words. So dhadamiti vishanti. They all come back. And so therefore what? But here there is no kartritvam. This is a different vantage point. Remember we talked about getting into the plane. And that plane is ashram. That plane is 6-month course. That plane is the knowledge. So getting into the plane of knowledge, pun intended, all my problems look very small. Other people's problems look smaller still. Then I'm thinking, why was I so worried? What happens? Look at this cute diminutive tree. First it was, oh, vrikshaha, and then huge. And then I go on the plane, vrikshakaha, the kutsitarthe kapratyaya, vrikshakaha, small baby trees, small baby problems, small baby body, not literally, but in terms of how much force it has. So the nature of the Atma I'm aligned with. So in this verse, which verse was it? 14th verse. That plane in which we have to get is being described. The Atma plane, when we get into it, from which vantage point everything looks small. And so the next time there is what is that? Jiva attack. That means what? That means in one's life, one is too much belaboring all kinds of things that do not belong to you. You are in the tight embrace of Mother Ajnanam, Mataji avidya. Okay, get out of her embrace. Be Prabhu, be Vibhu. Oh, but it didn't say Vibhu, it only said Prabhu. Wait, it will say Vibhu. Nadatte kasyachit papam. न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानम् तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः. Verse 14, was that 14? Yes. Verse 14 talked about how Atma is akarta. Therefore, Jnani is also akarta. So here, verse 15 is going to talk about how Ishvara, Atma, aka Jnani, is what? Abhokta, not done in by other people's doings, not affected by other people's doings. This is another description of the plane in which we have to sit and fly. Okay, take off for moksha. All right. And what kind of a flight it is? It is flight to nowhere. This is very interesting. You think I'm making this up. I am not. During the COVID, some things I do make up, but not this one. During the COVID pandemic, everybody got cabin fever. They were just tired, lockdown after lockdown, and then just sick and tired of everything. And so what did they want? They want a little outing, and they had money. That is the main point here. They without money, this is not an option. And so some very enterprising airlines, the airlines were also losing money. You couldn't go anywhere because there was no entry anywhere. You had to just stay in your country. You had to stay in the bubble. And in fact, in India itself, for about 12, almost a year, there were no flights flying in or coming back. And so it was the case with most countries. So what did they do? They started some flights to nowhere. This is literally called flights to nowhere. So you buy a ticket, and then everybody is what is that? Tested, vaccinated, everything, and the crew, everybody has to get a negative test to go on board, COVID test. And then this was during the height of the pandemic, where the lockdowns were there. So these were tired people, everything, sick of themselves, had a lot of money. So you buy a ticket, I don't know what they charged, and you all sit in a plane. And then you just fly, come back after 3 hours, back to the same airport, don't land anywhere because you're not allowed to land. Darlings, this is what moksha is like. This is that you get into this plane, this vantage point, but you're not really going anywhere, as though going. The going from the kartritva bhoktritva buddhi to prabhu vibhu. Vibhu means what? Vividham bhavati iti vibhuhu. Prakarshena bhavati iti prabhuhu. These are all words that describe Bhagavan, Ishvara. Here they are used for the Jnani, for the Atma. So this Atma, without going anywhere, goes everywhere. Without doing anything, is wonderful and is not the recipient of its own action, because it doesn't act, and it has not set up. Ishvara, neither Ishvara nor the Atma has set up a kind of what is that? People getting equated or united with their what is that called? With their karma phala. That's the word I was looking for. Karma phala. That is also not there. Na adatte. Adatte takes. Na adatte does not take. Kasyachit of anybody. Papam. Does not take the papas of anyone. And so beware of people saying, I have taken away your karma. No. Nobody takes anybody's karma. In fact, there is no karma to take. The Jnani knows that. Karma mithya. Remember the word mithya? Yes. Mithya, mithya is the word that has to be understood properly, really. Do not make mithya into mithya. Okay, yeah. That is the thing. So, mithya is not an object. Mithya is the understanding. Karma is mithya. So, nobody can claim by the force of their power to take away your karma. All this is just, bunkam. It's just not really. It's just a hogwash, as we say in America. It's just all rubbish. Nobody can take karma. Why should they take? The Jnani will not take anybody's karma because the Jnani is aware there is nothing to take. Na adatte kasyachit papam. Here is the Shrutis. What is that? Shrutis proof here. Na adatte kasyachit papam. Okay, can somebody take away your punya? Na chaiva sukritam. Na cha eva. Not even indeed. Sukritam. Sukritam means punya. Dushkritam papa. Here papa is only used, but sukritam is used for punya. Who? Vibhuhu. Atma. The Atma doesn't take anybody's papa or give back to anybody's punya, give back to punya to people or take away anybody's punya. But then why all this Punya Papa talk? Oh, I'll catch Papa if I do this. I need a little more Punya. Why? Agnyanena avritam jnanam. The knowledge is eclipsed. The shining Atma, which is self-evident, to which everything becomes evident, the lustrous, illustrious Atma is unfortunately, because of Maya Prakriti, because of Ajnanam, eclipsed. Eclipsed by what? By eclipses this Atma. And we have to add an important phrase. What is that? As though. As though. Because if it's really eclipsed, we can never have, all the Swamis would be without a job. Yeah, we'll have no job. Why? Because there is nothing to remove. That which is the Swarupa cannot be removed. Thank God it is only Swabhava, so it can be removed. Because we don't want this Swabhava. Therefore it can be removed. And so because it is a misconception. Ajnanam is nothing but misconception and misunderstanding of my own nature. Ajnanena avritam jnanam. Avritam, embrace. That's why I said covered as though. In the sleeping in the embrace of Mataji called Avidya. And she's a wonderful mother. She has broods of children and she hugs them all and gives them the feeding bottle, feeds them the milk of Raga and Dvesha. And they get strong. Who? Not the children. The Raga Dvesha gets strong. The Raga Dvesha gets strong. And then when they are able to eat solid food, she feeds them the barfis and jalebis of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. She feeds them a diet of indulgent lifestyle. She feeds them a diet of sensory, what is that called? Sensory fatigue they should get. That kind of a diet. She is an indulgent mother. And from such a mother, a toxic mother, unfortunately, from such a mother, we have to go to a functional mother. We need to be mothered, and we need to go to Mata Shruti, who is like 1,000 functional mothers. That is what is the bridge to getting on this plane. There are two bridges. One bridge is Karma Yoga, and the other bridge is what? The other bridge is Jnanam, getting into the lap of Mother Shruti. And what does she do? She exorcises the Raga Dveshas. She takes a few peacock feathers and goes like this. Get out, out. It's not you. I know it's not you. You are possessed by all this, kartritvam, bhoktritvam, etc. None of this is you. And they are all driven away by the force of the Upanishads, by the Mahavakyas. And what are this broom with which the head is being hit? It is the Mahavakya of the Upanishads. Kenopanishad, Kathopanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, everything. Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, this Bodha, that Bodha, everything together is made into one jhadu and then one broom. And then all these demons called Ragadvesha are exorcised by Mother Shruti. This is the tale of two mothers. Okay. And, so here the bhoktritvam is denied for the Atma. Does not take on papa, does not take on punya, and therefore what? Agnya. So what is the problem? Why do I get deluded? Why do people get deluded? This is because ajnanena avritam jnanam. This knowledge, this self-shining Atma and its nature, even though it is there, it doesn't have to be established. It is misconstrued because of Ajnanam. Yatha ulbenavritam, yatha ulbenavritam. Tena, in third chapter it will come towards the end of the third chapter. Garbha yatha ulbena avritam garbha tatha tena idam avritam. Garbha, the embryo, the baby inside the womb is called garbha. It is covered by the placenta. That's why it's not seen. And so here also the knowledge is covered by this, as it were. The knowledge of the self-shining I is as Ishvara, as Vibhu, is as it were covered by what? Covered by this, covered by the placenta of Ajnanam, as though, as it were. And so tena muhyanti, by this they are deluded. Who? Jantavaha. Here Lord Krishna is not even calling the people human beings, creatures. Jantu. Jantu, small insignificant creatures. And Jantu means punaf. What is the, do you know the derivation of the word Jantu? Punaf punaf jayate, punaf punah jayate iti jantuhu. Punaf punar jayate iti jantuhu. That which keeps being born again and again. Why? Because it is not getting this knowledge. It's not going to a guru. It's incapable. It has so many desires that in order to fulfill those desires, various kinds of bodies have to be invented by Bhagavan. Deep sea creatures, dinosaurs, from dinosaurs to deep sea creatures, all kinds of various gamut of bodies. Grasshopper keeps on hopping, no other job in life, keeps on hopping and deceiving people because it's the color of the grass, and that's what it is. And that's all, one whole life gone. Another life, just keep on, keep on, you're an owl, one becomes an owl. Why? Keep on, was nocturnal in the last life. That's why, owl. So one whole life gone. Owl cannot gain knowledge. Grasshopper cannot gain knowledge. Even dogs, cats cannot gain knowledge. Why? Because it has to be a human life alone. And even human life, if the person who is reading this is not a Jantu, so human beings here are being called Jantus. Why? Because you are behaving like an animal. You are not taking stock. You are not taking stock of your life and its purpose. Next one. Which number is that? 16. ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानम् ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानम् येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवज्ञानम् प्रकाशयति तत्परम् here the person of knowledge is going to be talked about again, and the solution to kartritvam and bhoktritvam is going to be presented here, of how, because what was said earlier, Agnyanena avritam jnanam. So then how this self-shining knowledge, how that Agnyanam is destroyed is going to be talked about here. Okay. Tu, however, Jnanena tad Agnyanam. By knowledge, that Agnyanam, Yesham, by whom, Nashitam, destroyed, Atmanaha, by the what kind of Ajnanam? Atmanaha goes with Ajnanam. Atmanaha Ajnanam, the Ajnanam of the self, the ignorance of the Atma, is destroyed by whom? Yesham, by whom? Tesham, by them, Adityavat Jnanam, sun-like orb of knowledge, prakashayati, param. So that knowledge, which is the ultimate, there is no more place to go. Remember, it's a flight to nowhere. You have to come back to yourself. So you buy the ticket. Ticket is 6-month course. You go sit inside, and then you have Shama, Dama, etc. And then all the viruses of Raga, Dvesha are removed. That's why you have taken the test. You have been selected. And then you sit in the plane, and then look at all the views. Oh, the river looks so small from this window. Wait, come to my window. All the trees look tiny. And look, the people are looking like ants. And you enjoy all that. You enjoy the vantage point, not by going anywhere, but in fact by coming back, finally landing in yourself. That is what is going to be described here, is that earlier, Ajnanena avritam jnanam tena buhyanti jantavaha. All the creatures not fit to be called human beings are deluded, and they suffer as a result of frying in self-ignorance. And here what? Adityavat jnanam. This knowledge is sun-like. And the plane metaphor is very useful, because down below it's all cloudy. Oh, gloomy day, I'm affected. And it's cloudy, so inside also there is a cloudy day, and I'm crying, why it is like this? If only it were sunny. It is sunny. What do I have to do? I have to change the vantage point. It is sunny. So for those who have got into this plane of this journey to nowhere, of this journey to the truth of themselves by approaching the Guru, etc., etc., we know all that. And then for them who have destroyed their ignorance. How does the ignorance destroy? As you climb further, further, you see everything becoming smaller and smaller, all your problems. So down below, imagine all your problems and stressors are there. First it looked like this tree. OMG, oh my God, how am I going to come out of this? Then you say, oh, that's not too bad. I think I can manage. Wait a minute, it's just so tiny. This is nothing. I can have this tree for a little decoration for my salad. Not even the salad. On top of the salad, I can pick one tree and put it there and take a photo. People like to take photos of their food and put it in their blogs. So I can do that. What was a tree, a huge tree, becomes vrikshakaha, a sprig, a sprig of rosemary and mint, pudina. It becomes a little pudina sprig to decorate the salad. So this is the vantage point, and here the people have become one with this vantage point, and they are many. And this is an inspirational verse, because it's not just one lonely soul Jnani somewhere going. No, thousands of Jnanis are there, Yesham, for whom the ignorance has been dispelled, and for them they are enjoying basking in the sun like knowledge, which is ultimate. And so it's not like they grow a halo or anything. So that's not to be taken literally. They are basking in the warmth of the sun like knowledge. More we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.